Hello everyone. As I promised in my last video that in next video I will be discussing about the inquisitorial system. As in the previous video I have discussed about the adversarial system. So let's discuss in this video about the inquisitorial system. Do you remember something about the adversarial system? If not, then please go back and watch that video first so that you can appreciate this video. So, if you remember something, then of course, please continue. So, on the contrary of adversarial system, in inquisitorial system, judges play an active role by taking a center stage while dispensing the justice. So, the first thing what it is mentioned here, that is the prima facie explaining about the judges who play an active role, whereas in previous video what we have discussed, in adversarial system judges play a passive role. Okay, so this is the first explanation and also distinction between these two terms. Okay, so let's see. Judges determine the issues and facts of respective dispute. Since he is playing an active role, so he determines such things. Besides, the judges also decide the manner in which the evidence must be presented before the court. So as you can see that every sentence is giving importance to judge in this case. Okay, judge is an active player. Judge can decide what are the evidence that can be admitted, what are the evidence that cannot be admitted. Okay, what should be the procedure. So everything here judge is deciding. Okay, so see how active he is. Such as judges decide for presentation of a specific form of evidence, for example oral, documentary, or combination of both. Finally, the judges efficiently evaluate the evidence presented before them and then decide the case. Because of such an active role of the judges, such system of legal proceedings is also known as interventionist or investigative model, as judges intervening or investigating the case. Okay, so active. So by the time whatever we have discussed about the inquisitorial system, we have discussed only about the judge. Did you notice that? We didn't discuss anything about the lawyers, about the parties, rather solely focused on judges, isn't it? But in adversarial system we have focused on everywhere other than judges, because there judges were passive decision maker. Okay, let's check out what it says further. The inquisitorial system is based on the combination of Roman and canon procedural law, and it is developed during the 14th and 15th centuries in Italy and Spain respectively. Okay, so it is pretty old system, it's not new. As such, adversarial is new. Okay, such model of legal proceedings relies upon the written documentation and an inquest style of adjudication. Okay, what does it mean that? So whatever the laws and the procedure which are mentioned in the book, judges or the system follow that. So under this system, police investigate crimes and present a file or dossier to the prosecutor, and then prosecutor reviews that file and then decides whether to file charges with the judge or not to take any action, or even send that file back for re-investigation or some additional information. Okay, so see, prosecutor has this much role, because police will first investigate and then will make the report, and once report is made he will submit to the prosecutor, and then prosecutor will decide what to do with that report, whether to present to the judge or not to do anything, or to send back to the police for the additional information or for the re-investigation. So it is prosecutor who will decide this. However, the prosecutor is obligated to act neutrally, as his or her goal is not to obtain a conviction. Please pay attention. I repeat, however, the prosecutor is obligated to act neutrally. Focus on neutrally. He is not an active agent, as his or her goal is not to obtain a conviction. See another point that you need to understand. His or her goal is not to obtain a conviction, but rather to reveal the truth. So his job is only to reveal the truth. But in adversarial system, his job is to prosecute or convict the accused, isn't it? And then apply the respective law in inquisitorial system. Okay, so I repeat again this sentence in totality so that you can appreciate. However, the prosecutor is obligated to act neutrally, as his or her goal is not to obtain a conviction, but rather to reveal the truth and then apply the respective law. On the other hand, defense lawyer plays minor roles in this system because hearsay, character evidence, and evidence of prior convictions are all admissible, and so too is the testimony from anonymous witnesses. So here, see, by the time we have discussed that prosecutor has limited role, and now in this sentence what we have discussed, even the defense lawyer has limited role, because in such kind of system, hearsay, which is not acceptable in the adversarial system, but here it is acceptable, character evidence and evidence of prior convictions all are admissible, and so to the testimony from anonymous witnesses. So again, the role of defense lawyer is also curtailed. Okay. Further, the trial proceedings are more investigative than competitive and is centered on faith in the fairness and goodwill of the judges. Okay, I believe you must understood the meaning of inquisitorial system in comparison to adversarial system. Moreover, in this system, there is less scope of cross-examination and other such techniques that often used by advocates to evaluate evidences of their opposing counsel in adversarial model. Okay, so here there is no scope of cross-examination. Okay, now let's discuss some of the advantages of inquisitorial system. So whatever were the disadvantages of adversarial system, that will become the advantages of inquisitorial system. So let's check it out. The system has procedural efficiency. There what we have studied, that is too much delay, as the active role of judges prevent delays and prolonged trials. So now it became here advantage, and in adversarial system it was disadvantages because it is a complex and lengthy process. Secondly, the system preserves equality between the parties, as even the stronger party with more resources and expert lawyers may not be able to influence the judges. Again, it was disadvantage of adversarial system because there we have seen that the resourceful person, affluent person or powerful person can manipulate the things and can hire the expensive or experienced lawyers. On the contrary, poor fellows, they have no choice even to hire a simple lawyer. So there is inequality. Now let's discuss some of the disadvantages of inquisitorial system. Following are the major disadvantages, such as in this system, since judges play an active role, therefore most likely they may get biased, less chance of remain neutral. See, here judges play an active role. He investigates the thing himself, so there is chance that he may get biased. The second and last disadvantage of inquisitorial system is the human rights are not given much attention because of relying more on official investigation. So here the emphasis is given to find the truth. Okay, so human rights are being prima facie not paid attention. So these two are the disadvantages of inquisitorial system. So this is all about the adversarial system and inquisitorial system. I believe you must understood, so you can see both the videos one after another. But I suggest first see the first video and then the second video. So this is all for this video. In next video, I will be discussing about the major differences between adversarial system and inquisitorial system. So keep watching.